Today's topic for discussion is ergot disease of bajra. It is one of the major disease of bajra. The ergot disease of bajra has been reported from several countries of the world, especially from African countries, and India and Pakistan reported this disease as a major importance. In India, the disease occurs in all the states of India, that especially in Delhi, UP, UK, Rajasthan, Maharashtra. These states grow bajra crop extensively. Even in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Haryana, Punjab, the disease occurs, and there are reports of ergot disease of bajra. And ergot of pearl millet, that is bajra, it is caused by a fungus, and which is seed-borne fungus, as well as it is a soil-borne fungus, and it is a very important and widespread fungal disease. It causes direct grain loss by replacing the grains by sclerotia, and the fungal pathogen that removes the ovary, that feed on the ovary, and the entire ovary of the plant that get converted into a sclerotia like bodies, and such grains, the affected grains that are unfit for the consumption. Under conditions of favorable favorable environmental conditions, the losses of the crop takes place, and there are reports of 58 to 70% losses of the bajra. Okay, next, host range of the bajra, the pathogen, that is Claviceps fusiformis, and this pathogen occurs on several types of grasses in the field. Several types of grasses get affected by the bajra pathogen, the pathogen which Claviceps fusiformis, and that is very commonly occur, and these grasses are present around the field as a weed plant, and even on that the pathogen retain for long duration, and ergot occurs besides grasses. There are several host plants of cereals on which the ergot disease causing pathogen occurs. And how is the geographic distribution? It is a worldwide pathogen because it occurs throughout the world, and in African countries it is a very serious disease. It is of a major importance disease. It has a major importance because it causes heavy losses of the crop. And what economic importance of the ergot disease? The ergot sometimes destructive disease on bajra grain production in India. Although the disease has been known for a long time, possibly over 100 years, the first ergot epidemic was not reported until 1957. Okay, the importance of ergot disease of bajra as a major threat to bajra production was recognized in late 1960s with the cultivation of commercial hybrids. The hybrid varieties of the bajra were more susceptible for the disease. What is susceptibility? That means if in presence of the pathogen, the crop get easily infected and heavy losses are caused. The losses in the grain yield due to ergot have been estimated up to 58 to 70% in hybrid varieties. And the disease assumes special importance because grain is easily contaminated by fungal bodies. The fungal bodies are termed as sclerotia. Sclerotia, these are the modified ovaries which are dark black and hard structures which affect the health of the human beings and animals also. And normal grain contamination with ergot in infected grain when consumed by the human beings, that induces vomiting, giddiness, and in extreme cases may be fatal also, and these are such grains are harmful for consumption. Ergot infection can have a significant impact on yield with up to 70% loss in susceptible varieties. That has been reported by Natarajan et al. In 1974. And what type of symptoms are developed in the bajra because of this fungal pathogen Claviceps fusiformis? The symptoms appear at the flowering stage. What happens? The pinkish honey colored honey type of secretion is secreted from the spikelets of the ear, bajra ear, which becomes sticky, and later this stage of this disease is known as honeydew stage. Later on, a small brown colored irregular sclerotia form in place of grains which are called ergot or sclerotia, and these sclerotia form after 10 to 15 days of honeydew stage. Next, what are sclerotia? Sclerotia are 0.5 to 1 centimeter long structures and 1 to 2 mm in diameter. They are hard and woody. And the ergot causing fungus infects the florets and develops in the ovaries, producing initially copious creamy pink or red colored sweet sticky liquid. Just I told you that is known as honeydew stage. Honeydew. The honeydew can help that can drip down onto the upper leaves, making them sticky. Often pollen and anther sacs adhere to the honeydew. Okay, and subsequently what happens? Subsequently long dark colored hard structures that are developed, which are known as sclerotia, and that develop from the infected florets. First dark at the tip and then completely black color is developed. Which is let us see the details of the pathogen which causes the disease. That is the pathogenic organism which causes ergot disease of bajra. It is Claviceps fusiformis and Claviceps purpurea. These two species causes the ergot disease of bajra, and now the Claviceps purpurea is called as Claviceps fusiformis, and it is a field fungus. The crops get infected in flowering stage or seedling stage on the host crop, and the disease becomes major ill. That means the disease becomes serious and major losses of the crops takes place. And what happens in India? The disease becomes a major ill constraint in India with the introduction of open pollinated hybrid lines of the bajra. Conidia are spread from the plant to plant by wind, by rainwater, by wind splashes or irrigated water or insect visits. While species of bajra and related grasses are hosts of that pathogen. Hence there is possibility of survival of the pathogen on the grasses, because grasses are also the host plants of this pathogen. The use of clean seeds and cultivation under particular climate conditions may prevent ergot from appearing as a significant problem in the field. Next, what are sclerotia and perithecia? The sclerotia are elongated to globose structures 3.6 to 6.1 into 1.3 to 1.6 mm in size and pale to dark brown in color. This with or without conidia containing cavities. This is reported by Thakur et al. And germination by 1 to 16 fleshy purplish stalks, that is 6 to 26 mm long, each bearing apical globular capitulum, light to dark brown with numerous perithecial osteoles. Okay, and this is the sclerotia. It is a modified ovary, and that becomes hard, and it at the time after germination it produces a germ tube, and at the end of the germ tube a globular structure is developed in which a series of perithecia is developed. The perithecia are immersed in head of stalked stroma developed from sclerotia. Asci interspersed with paraphysis and emerge through osteole, and each ascus containing ascospores. The ascospores are hyaline, filiform, non-septate structures which are 103 to 176 into 0.5 mm in size. Next, conidia of this fungus produces two types of conidia, that is macroconidia and microconidia, and that developing both in cultures, even on the media both types of conidia are developed, and in honeydew on infected bajra panicles. Macroconidia are produced, even the microconidia are also produced. The macroconidia are hyaline, that is colorless, fusiform, unicellular, 12.0 to 26.5 into 2.5 to 6.0 μm, producing 1 to 3 germ tubes from ends or from lateral side. And microconidia are hyaline. These are also globular, unicellular. They are smaller than the macroconidia, producing only one germ tube. This is the difference. Both macroconidia and microconidia are able to produce additional microconidia in chains from conidiophores formed by the germ tube. This is reported by Prakash et al. In 1983. Next. This is the photograph of micro and macro sclerotia. And sclerotium, it is a modified ovary. Next. This is germination of sclerotia, and see after germination the perithecal heads are seen here, and inside the perithecal heads several perithecal cups are arranged at the peripheral region in which asci are produced, and in asci ascospores are produced. Next. This is enlarged portion of perithecal head and perithecia at the periphery of the stoma. Next. This is the perithecia, and that is showing in the photograph ascospores and asci, as each ascus containing ascospores. Next. This is the ascus of the Claviceps fusiformis. Next. The life cycle of Claviceps fusiformis begins when the sclerotia germinate to produce a stalked stromata bearing asci and ascospores in the perithecia. The ejected airborne ascospores infect the stigmas of the flowering of bajra panicles before pollination. Honeydew oozes out of the infected florets within 5 to 7 days after infection. And this honeydew contains numerous macroconidia and microconidia that serve as secondary inoculum for the disease. The conidia are disseminated from one panicle to another by rain splash, wind, currents, contact, and also through insects. The optimum temperature which requires for the development of the ergot disease, that is 25 degrees Celsius, and 100% relative humidity is highly favorable for disease development. Germination of at least 60% was obtained within temperature between 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, next. Dense brown fusiform sclerotia form in the infected florets within 15 to 20 days of the appearance of honeydew. Okay, these sclerotia are the survival forms of fungus and may fall on the ground or incubate that remains in the soil in dormant condition. And in favorable condition they germinate and produces perithecia. Again the ascospores are developed. The conidial infection occurs through the stigma, style and ovary wall. Hyphae are located below the ovary wall 3 days after inoculation, and subsequently the fungus shows preferable growth and towards the ovary wall. The whole ovary is replaced by hyphae within 10 to 15 days of infection. Fungal spread is always intracellular. Honeydew production begins within 5 to 7 days. Another primary source of infection in the field was the presence of sclerotia in the soil, that also causes disease in the next season whenever they comes in contact with the host. And how is the epidemiology? An overcast skies, drizzling rains, and the temperature between 20 to 25 degree, it is favorable for the disease initiation. And heavy rainfall at temperature ranges 14 to 35 degree, was more favorable to ergot infection than the temperature range between 21 to 35. Okay, disease development was optimal, that already I told you, 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, and the relative humidity that requires 86 to 88. Next, Sclerotia germinated in sterilized field, that also can germinate in sterile soil also, and even in laboratory these Sclerotia can germinate and produces conidial heads. Next, how to manage the disease, how to control the disease, ergot disease of bajra. The major source of primary inoculum, that is Sclerotia, is already present in the soil, and we have to collect all infected plant material from the soil and burn it away from the field. This is one of the control measure. Disease development and spread depends on prevailing weather conditions during flowering and the timely availability of pollen. That has to be avoided. And there are several cultural methods adopted for the management of disease. That is, the deflogging soon after harvest helps bury Sclerotia in a soil at a depth which prevents their germination, thus reduces the disease intensity. Separate infected seeds from normal seed by soaking in 10% of salt solution. Floating light-weighted infected seeds are separated from the normal grain which sinks to the bottom. This is also one more method to reduce the disease intensity. In India, two perennial grasses are present which carry the pathogenic inoculum. Therefore, we have to remove those collateral host from the field. Next, the chemical method of control, that is, there are several chemical methods which are recommended against the disease. They are Thiram, and there are some systemic fungicides, and which can control the disease, and several seed treatment fungicides also recommended by the plant pathologist, and that are useful. And the best method, you have to use the resistant varieties which are resistant to the ergot disease. For sowing purpose, you have to use resistant varieties. The resistant varieties of this crop are 7703, ICTP, 8203, ICMW. There are several types of varieties released by India which are resistant to the ergot disease. And the early sowing also reduces disease intensity. Crop rotation for 3 years is very important. Removal of crop residue from the field, and collect all the infected plant part and burn it away from the field carefully. That is also one of the best method for the control of the disease. And remove the infected ears carefully and burn it away from the field. The fungicides which are generally used to spray against the ergot disease are Zinate, copper oxychloride, and carbendazim. These are the fungicides which are used. Next, the fungus causes, it also causes some itching in human beings, some diseases. The alkaloids which are present in Sclerotia, which are harmful for the human beings, animals, etc. It causes the muscular cramps, giddiness, burning, itching. Such type of symptoms are seen in the human beings because of the ergot, the Sclerotia. And alkaloids present in the Sclerotia in the form of ergotoxin, that is known as ergotoxin, which is harmful for animals as well as human beings. Next, thank you very much. Save trees, save earth.